Hi, my name is Craig Gonzalez, and I work with Dr. Frank at Business English HQ, and I would like to spend about 1 minute explaining misplaced modifiers. Common errors in writing, misplaced modifiers. What's wrong with this sentence? After working for hours on a blog post, readers found it to be one of the best that Frank and Craig wrote. The problem is not that readers write our blog posts, although we are open to guest bloggers. The mistake is called a misplaced modifier. It's a common writing problem for many non-native speakers of English. Native speakers tend to make this mistake as well. Modifier is a word, phrase, or clause that describes another part of the sentence. In the example, the phrase, after working for hours on a blog post, modifies the word readers. The phrase should refer to Frank and Craig, who in fact love writing blog posts. Seriously. A second common writing problem is called a dangling modifier. Let's look at this sentence. Although well written and clear, the editor still found some mistakes. Can you spot the problem? The thing is, what was written? In this sentence, the editor was written. But that's not really true. That doesn't make any sense. The problem is a dangling modifier. The phrase, although well written and clear, should refer to a document, a first draft of our soon-to-be published BEHQ Guide to Business Writing, something like that. Finally, a third problem crazy grammarians have is called a squinting modifier. So what's wrong with this sentence? Frank only wrote this week's Business English HQ post. Well, the problem is it's not clear what he's trying to say. It can confuse the reader. We're not sure if only Frank wrote the blog post, like he wrote it by himself, or if the post was the only thing Frank wrote this week. The problem is we don't know the meaning, and that's the problem with modifiers and misplaced squinting and dangling modifiers. When we write modifiers incorrectly, we have convoluted, tricky, confusing meaning. We don't know what the sentence is trying to say. And what's the purpose of writing? You're writing so you can be understood. So the reader, your boss, your colleagues, a client, a proposal reader, whomever, understands what you're trying to say. And if you use sentences that can be read and understood in the wrong way, people aren't going to understand you. And we're not going to be able to continue working with you, talking to you, because if we can't understand you, what's the point? So let's see. So how do we fix these problems? Well, the first thing you want to do is make sure that there's a word or phrase that follows a modifier and that it correctly identifies the word or phrase. Otherwise, you leave your reader dangling, right? Confused or squinting. They don't see clearly, right? Another example of a modifier, or at least trying to fix modifiers, is you need to put the modifier, the word that's describing or giving us more information about what you're trying to say, as close to the noun as possible. So if I say, there is a beautiful book, right? I think my book is beautiful because Business English HQ Writing Guide is beautiful. But if I said, I would like you to buy the book and we want to beautiful help you write better English, that doesn't make sense because the modifier beautiful is not close to the book. I could say smart, I could say awesome, I could say the very handsome Craig, right? Whatever I say, the modifier needs to be next to the noun it modifies. That's the rule, right? Dangling modifiers are sort of words and phrases before a comma before the subject of the sentence, right? Once sad and lonely, comma, Craig is now happy and gregarious. Once sad and lonely gives you more information about the subject, Craig. And that's why once sad and lonely, comma, comes right before the subject, Craig. Let's see if you can fix these problems. Having completed this audio recording, the Business English podcast was uploaded to YouTube. Senior managers only enjoyed this week's Business English HQ blog post. Featuring interesting graphics, comma, Frank and Craig strongly recommend reading BEHQ articles. I'm not going to give you the answers in this video. Instead, you have to read below the video to the blog post. If you're reading this or watching this on YouTube, click on the link below and it'll take you to our blog post and you'll be able to check the answers. My name is Craig Gonzalez. I work with Dr. Frank Bonkowski at Business English HQ. You can add us on Twitter at Smart English HQ and ask us questions. If you're not down for that, or you just like, help, you can sign up for our free email writing course, where we give you 5 really awesome writing lessons right in your email box. And we also send you, access to a toolkit with some neat blog posts and some articles. And we're going to release an ebook very soon. And if you sign up now, you'll be the first to know. My name is Craig Gonzalez. Dr. Frank and I thank you for listening to Business.